Good morning, it's early Friday morning, about 7:30. We're going to go try and hit up some garage sales. I have my daughter with me. So, we'll see what we get. I will show you any pickups that I make. Alright, so I've made a few pickups, including some non-Lego video game pickups. Picked up a copy of Les Miserables, the unabridged version. I've actually never read the unabridged copy of this, so don't hurt me if you were a fan of that. I've read the abridged version back in junior high school and loved it, and I've always wanted to read the unabridged. 25 cents for this big, thick novel. I figured that was a great steal. Picked up some organizers for some Legos. I will show those a little later. And then I picked up a couple of video games. They had some PS4 games for sale. Not like terribly good prices, but not bad prices, and I picked up 3 of those. So I'll show those a little later. You saw the Battlefront. I don't have Battlefront. I know that the second game is out now, and I don't have either of them, but I wanted to play it, so I figured I could snag that for super cheap and at least play it for a few hours. If I enjoy it, then that's great. If not, then not a big deal. I did pick up a sealed PS4 game that I will show you a little later that I'm a little bit excited about, but again, it's an older game, an older MMORPG, so we'll see if I get too much use out of it. But then the big score of the day so far was a vintage Lego haul, and I'll just show you one of the sets. There are 2 sets in there. One of them is this set right here. So I am pretty excited about that. I don't know if it's complete. The guy, he didn't know either. He said that there are 2 tubs of Lego pieces with both sets mixed in to each one, so he wasn't sure. But, for $10, they're in really, really nice shape. Just that, it comes with a little spaceman minifig, one of the old classic spacemen. So, just that by itself is worth the $10 in my opinion. So, really excited to get that piece through that. So, that's what we've got so far. We're going to go hit up, hopefully, another community sale. There's one more sale listed that has Legos. I don't know if I'll get to it before they're gone, because I have to drive a little bit of a ways to get over there. And the sale started at 8. It's 9 a.m. now, so I've hit up a lot of sales. Haven't had a ton of luck, but did pick up a few good things, and I'm excited about it. So I'll keep you posted. Alright, so just made another Lego pickup at a garage sale. Just over, well, you won't be able to see it. But anyway, the lady had a whole bunch of toys out, and there were a bunch of tubs of Legos, and I I started picking through what she had, and it turned out that there were 5 boxes of Legos about this size, give or take a little bit. And so I asked her what she wanted for all 5 of them. One of them was Duplos. She said she wanted 20 for them. So I thought about that for a little while, and I'm sure that these are not complete by any stretch of the imagination, especially how she was describing how her son was playing with them. So I tried to talk her down to 10, and she wouldn't take 10. So then I tried 15, and she wouldn't take 15. We finally agreed on 17. So, it's more than I probably would want to pay for. I mean, it's a lot of boxes, but it's obvious that they're just all over the place. They're not in their boxes that they're supposed to be. It's just a big mass of Legos, and I'm sure that there are tons of pieces missing, and that's more than I wanted to pay, especially if I'm going to try and sell any of these. I might just sell these as a lot, take out pieces that I want and then sell the rest. But the box of Duplos, there's a lot of Duplos in there. So that for 17 is probably a really good deal. So, not too bad of a pickup. There's another one. Alright, I'm going to stop at another one here. Alright, just made another Lego score here. Had a garage sale just back there. Walked out and I saw a boxed Lego set. It's a Minecraft set, but there's a sticky note on the box that says, not a set. So I'm like, okay, there's maybe just some random pieces. I pick it up and the thing is heavy. So I'll show you here. This big set, and it is filled. I mean, just filled with Legos. So, had 20 on there. I asked if the lady would come down and price it all. And she said, how about 15? And I said, would you do 10? And she said that she'd do it for 10. So, paid $10 for that. There's a lot of Lego in there. I did open it up, and there's definitely a bunch of non-Lego pieces in there. So, for $10 though, it's worth it for me to see what's in there and try and sort it out. So, I am quickly running out of cash this morning. I've made some great pickups. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be out here too much longer. I was hoping for some retro video games. Nobody seems to have them. So many people are telling me, oh yeah, we got rid of those last year. Oh yeah, last sale we had a whole bunch, but we got rid of them. I think I'm just like 1 or 2 years late for all of the retro video games. If only I had been doing this, a year ago. A year or two ago. But oh well. Nothing I can do about that now. Alright, gonna hit up a few more sales here. Alright, so made a nice little video game pickup. It's been a good day. Finally got some video games. I guess I got a couple video games earlier, but the demographic was right for the husband. Anyway, the wife was out in the garage. I asked if they had any video game stuff. She said that they had like a PlayStation 2 and a Wii, but they'd sold. What did she say that they had sold? Oh, a PSP. He'd sold a PSP already. So I don't know if it was at a garage sale, but she's like, "Oh, let me go ask him though." So he comes back out and he said, well, what are you looking for? And I said, oh, I'm looking for any video game stuff, but mostly older stuff, Nintendo, Game Boy, give him the spiel. And he said, well, I've got an old Game Gear. So he went back and grabbed it, came back out, has a case, turned it on, it works. Batteries are still good in there. Get it out here. So there's the Game Gear. And, had, I think, 10 games with it. There's Shinobi. So we'll go through the games later, but anyway, I was pretty stoked to find that. I've never played a Game Gear before. That was just never on my radar as a kid. Asked him how much he wanted for it. He said, what's it worth to you? So I was like, I don't know. I really actually don't know how much those are worth, so I went ahead and offered him 10. Said, would you take 10? He's like, I don't know, my kid might play it, I don't know. Kind of hemmed and hawed and said, would you do 20? And I said, how about we meet in the middle at 15? And he's like, alright, I can do it for 15. So I grabbed that for $15. Pretty excited about that. That's a nice little pickup. Alright, gonna hit up some more here. Alright, just made another pickup. Got a few DS and 3DS games. Some Pokemon and some Mario game. A Mario game, which is actually one that I need for the collection. The other two I probably will get rid of. I like Pokemon games a lot, but I have too many already. So I would like to collect them all, but right now I'd rather just have the money. Anyway, stack of DS and 3DS games, like 12 games. The lady was wanting 5 for the Mario and the Pokemon games, and 3 for a couple of the other ones. So it turned out to be about like $50 for all of them. And so I was like, hey, what would you like for all of them? And she's like, $50. So she was like not willing to come down in price. So I grabbed a couple of the good ones, all the Pokemon games and the Mario games, and it was like $35. There were 7 for 5 each. So would you take 30 for these? She's like, no, 35. So I was a little mad that she wasn't willing to negotiate. They were priced pretty fair. I just didn't want to. I probably should have just grabbed them, but I decided to just grab these 3. I need the Mario 3D Land for the collection. I played this game before, but I don't have my own copy. The other 2 Pokemon games I can sell and pay for the Mario game. So yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap up here pretty soon. Just hit a few more sales, but it's getting late in the day. I need to get to work and get my daughter home to get some food. So that's where we're at. All right, PJ Collects pro tip number 1. It's not a pro tip, amateur tip number 1. I'm not a pro at this. Always have plenty of cash. So I just missed out on a sale because I didn't have enough cash. Which is a bummer. So asked the guy if he had a 64. He brought out a 64 with like 25 plus games. Asked the guy if he had any old video game stuff. He said I had a 64. Went back in, brought it all out for me. Super nice, chill guy. Had like 25 games. Not a lot of great games, mostly just sports, your generic sports games. Had a couple good ones though. Had Mario. But I mean, there's just a ton of them there. And I asked what he wanted for it. He said $50. So when I got there and asked him for it, there's nobody at the sale. Nobody there. He said, oh, I was just about to pack it in. So I caught him right at the tail end. And he brought out this whole lot of games for me. Asked 50. I didn't have 50 on me. So I asked him if he'd go lower. But at that point, 3 people showed up at the sale. All guys my age. And they just start circling. They're just biting at the bit to grab those. So, the guy was obviously trying to make a sale. He was going to make 50 easily from that, based on how many people were there. So I missed out on it. If I had the $40, it would have been mine right there. So too bad, really too bad that I didn't grab that. I hate leaving those when I see them and I find them, but not really much I can do. I'm at the end of the day here. I was just about to pack it up and head home, and I just didn't have. I was short like $20, so let that be a lesson. Always have enough cash for when you're trying to make the sale. But anyway, we're gonna call it quits for today, and it's been a great day. Made a lot of good sales and good pickups, and we'll wrap it up. I'll show you guys everything in a little bit. All right, we're back. Time to recap everything that we grabbed this week and also last week. So I'm going to start with something that I picked up last week that you haven't seen yet. Stopped at a yard sale. I didn't do much garage sailing last week, but I did stop at a yard sale and asked if they had any video game stuff. The wife said, "Oh, I think my husband had something that he was trying to get rid of," and the husband said, "Oh yeah, I have a PlayStation." So I wasn't sure what he was going to bring out, but he came out with a PS3. And there's the PS3, one of the slim models. I actually don't know very much about PS3s. I don't have one. This is the first one that I've picked up. So it looks in pretty good shape. I haven't tested it yet to see if it works, but I am kind of assuming that it does. He said that it works great, that he just didn't need it anymore. He got a PS4 for free and wasn't playing this one. So he was wanting, I think he wanted 50 for it, and I talked him down to 35. He maybe wanted 40 for it, and I talked him down to 35. Anyway, I ended up paying 35 for it. So there's the PS3. And controllers, let's see. One controller, I think there's just the one controller. Has all of the cables, the charging cables, and then he had 4 games for it. So he had Call of Duty, Black Ops, which I'm not a big Call of Duty fan, so I know that that's a super popular game, or it was. Splinter Cell Blacklist. I haven't played a Splinter Cell game since like the original Xbox. My brother-in-law had a game that he and I would play. Tiger Woods PGA Tour 13. And Madden 15. So, 4 games that I really don't care that much about. These just aren't really genres that I am super interested in playing, but for $35, not a bad deal, I thought. I haven't decided if I'm going to keep the PS3 yet or not. I would like to have a PS3 eventually. There are a few games that were only released on the PS3 that I would like to go back and play, including Ni no Kuni. I really like JRPGs, in case you didn't know. But a lot of the other games that I'm interested in playing on the PS3 have been re-released for the PS4. So I don't feel a huge push to get a PS3 at this point, but I would like to have one eventually. So I don't know if I'm going to keep this one. I feel like I got it for a pretty good deal, but I could also flip it and maybe make a little bit of money off of that. So haven't decided what I'm going to do there yet. Alright, so let's turn to yesterday's pickups. Just a few, a couple non-Lego, non-video game related purchases. I picked up a copy of Les Miserables, the unabridged version, which I have never read this one. I've read the abridged version, but I've always wanted to read the unabridged version, so picked this up for $0.25. I like classic literature, at least some classic literature. But I love Les Mis. I love this story. So let's see. All right, these were kind of down below. I couldn't fit them up here, but I picked up a couple of these organizing drawers. So I got this one, and then I also picked up this one right here. So they just have some drawers. I'm going to use these for Legos, Lego pieces. Picked up the pair of those for, I think I picked up the pair for $1. Alright, so I'll show you this find first. So it's these three bins and then these 2 bins. So I went to a garage sale. I wasn't planning on going there, but it was a community sale, and I just was driving around and found this one. Didn't look like many people had been to that one yet. I think the lady said that they'd only had like 2 people so far. So it was pretty early. Nobody had hit it up yet, so I was able to snag these. There was a box this is a Connects box, which I'm not interested in Connects, but there were some Lego pieces in here. So here is part of a set. This is actually a Marvel set. I looked it up. I don't think that all of the pieces, or even very many of the pieces to this Marvel set are in here, which is too bad. There's a little bit. There's some legs, some minifig legs, and then a lot of Connects pieces in here as well. So I'll try and give you a little bit of a shot of there. So I don't know if, this was like a 521 piece Connects set. So my guess is that it's not complete. There are Connects pieces in here and in here and in here as well. So I don't know what I'll do with the Connects. I'll probably just try and get rid of them. I might try and sell them for a few bucks. I'm just not interested in Connects. They don't really appeal to me that much. But yeah, it was interspersed with all the Legos, so I kind of needed to grab it. So that was one of the 5 boxes. I picked up this big tub of Duplo, which I didn't realize, but this base plate was on the top of that. So that was nice. That was a nice surprise. And then this thing is just filled with Duplo pieces. So we got some cars, train pieces. There are some Mega Blocks in here as well. That's a Mega Blocks piece. So I'll go through and sort out all the Mega Blocks. Hopefully there's not too many in here. But yeah, what I ended up paying for this was probably worth it just for this by itself. I ended up paying $17, I think, for this. She wanted $20. I asked if she could do $15, and she was like, "No, you know what? This is only like the second or third. You're only like the second or third person that's come to this sale, so I could, still probably try and get $20 for all of this." So I said, "Okay, I'll do $17." So picked all of this up for $17. So I thought $17 for the Duplos, that's a good deal. My son still plays with the Duplos. Actually, he really likes Duplos. And then I have an infant son who will, I'm sure, grow into Duplos. We have a big Duplo collection already, so I don't know how much I don't know how much of this I'll keep and how much of it I'll try and sell. I think I'll probably go through it and find the pieces that I like the most, or unique pieces, and maybe keep those, and then maybe try and sell the rest. I think I could probably make back the $17 just from that box right there. Just from the Duplos. Okay, so then I'm going to slide this over here. We had this tub. So this is set 4626. I don't think it has a name. I don't know what the name is. 4626. It's one of these building sets. It has an inventory list on the back that I will go through and try and find. This one is pretty full of Legos. There's this base plate on top there, which is genuine Lego. It's kind of weird. There's this interesting part on the back. I've actually never seen that before. A few non-Lego things in there. There's a gear shift. I don't know why. People put stuff in their Lego ones. Piece separator. So this is pretty full. I see some minifigure parts in there, but again, I don't know how many pieces to this set are in here. I don't know how many pieces to the Marvel set that I know has pieces in all of this. I don't know how many of those are in here, so it'll just be a matter of going through and sorting it and trying to find what's what and what goes where. This was definitely the fullest of the Lego tubs. This had the most in there. Then we had this set. This is 4625. This is sort of the, quote unquote girl equivalent of the previous one. My guess is that there's a son and a daughter, and they each got one of these. This one had a decent amount of parts in it, but not as many as the other one. Again, there's some, ship pieces. I see some minifig pieces at least. I don't know how complete they are. There's a torso, a couple of Duplos. There's a plate, So there's a decent amount in here. Good for parts, if anything. Especially if I can sell the Duplos and make back what I paid for it, then I have no problem, just sort of assimilating these into my collection. And then last was this little suitcase. And this is set 10659. Again, I don't have a name for it, but it does have the instructions in here. So there's like a car and a service station. There's a few different builds that you can make from this. So that's a pretty cool set. The lady, I think, said that this was complete, but it's obvious that this has been mixed up with everything else in here too. Like, here is a minifig from that Marvel set. It's one of the aliens with Tony Stark's head on it. So obviously, like, these have all been mixed up. This is a minifig from this set. It's like the businessman. And then there are these interesting pieces here. I don't know if these go to this one or another one or something completely different. These are genuine Lego pieces, but I don't really know what they are. So if anybody knows, please comment in the comment section below and let me know. The car here is sort of semi-built. Actually, I think it's only semi-built because it's one of those like juniors cars where it's all one piece. So anyway, all right. Sorry about that. My memory card filled up, so I deleted a bunch of stuff. Hopefully that'll be enough to get me through. So I don't remember what I missed on this one, but if this is complete, that's great. If not, I'll just add the pieces into my collection, and hopefully I can make back what I spent just from the Duplos. So I wasn't really thrilled about that deal. I didn't want to pay that much, but for what I got, I think it's okay. Especially those Duplos, they kind of made it up. All right, just down the street from that sale was another sale that had this box just sitting out, and on the sticker it says $20, not a set. So it's a Minecraft box, but I asked the lady, she said, yeah, the set is not in there. It's just filled with Lego pieces. So then I picked it up, and this thing is so heavy. I think I mentioned that earlier. So anyway, this thing is just filled with Legos. I will try and give you a little bit of a peek here. I don't know if this set is in here. I kind of hope that it is to some extent. I don't have any Minecraft sets, but anyway, but you can see that it is just filled with Lego pieces. So I will do a whole video on this box where I will dump it out and see what's in here. I have no idea what's in here. I just know that there are a few non-Lego pieces on the top. The rest of it, I don't know. Definitely a lot of Lego pieces. I actually asked, and she said that it's mostly Lego. So people will say that, and they might think that it's mostly Lego. They might not actually know, but hopefully it is. So she asked for 20. I talked her down to 10. So I was happy to grab that for $10. There's a ton in there, a ton of pieces. I'm gonna save this last Lego haul for the end because it was my favorite. So I'll go through this. I picked up 3 PS4 games: Shadow of Mordor, the original Star Wars Battlefront, and then a sealed, unopened copy of Destiny: The Taken King with all the expansions. I don't have any of these games, and they're all 3 games that I had wanted to get a hold of. I've heard really good things about this one. I also know that it's incredibly violent and gory, which we'll see how much I end up playing that one. Yeah, not one I can play with my son, definitely. The original Star Wars Battlefront, I don't know if people are still playing this game at all, but it's one that I wanted to pick up, and I just haven't. And then Destiny, again, I don't know if anybody's still playing the original Destiny, but a sealed copy with all the expansion packs and whatnot. I was happy to grab that. I would like to give this a try at some point if I'm able to play it first person. Let me know in the comments below. Is this a game that I can play first person or that I can play just by myself? Do I need to team up with other people to play this? How much of the game can I get through just by myself? Let me know in the comments. They had stickers on them that totaled to like $13. I picked all 3 up for $10. So essentially paid $3 1/3 for each of those. So happy to grab those. I mentioned in the pickup for this 3DS haul, the lady had a stack of 12 games. She would not budge on the price at all. She wanted $50 for all 12. There were a lot of games in there that I just didn't care about, didn't want. So I tried to just take some of the best games in there for $30, and she wouldn't take that either. So I ended up just grabbing these 3 games and paid $15 for them. So five each. Super Mario 3D Land, which is a game that I have played and really, really love. I love this game. It is such a fun game. But I don't have my own copy. I borrowed this from my brother-in-law and played through it and really enjoyed it. So I've always wanted my own copy of this. I've just kind of been waiting for the right price, and $5 was the right price for me. And then I picked up a copy of, we'll start with this one, Pokemon Black version for the DS, and then Pokemon Black 2 for the DS. I know that each of these games still goes for $15 to $20, so I was happy to grab those, and I'll resell these. I have Pokemon White 2. I don't have Pokemon White, but I have Pokemon White 2, and I played through it and enjoyed it. I like Pokemon games, but they're a big time sink for me. I know that I'm not going to play through these games all the way through. I already have a ton of Pokemon games that I haven't gotten through yet, so eventually I'd love to add these to the collection, but right now I'd rather just have the cash. So I will just be reselling those. Picked this up right here. This is the Game Gear. So there's the Game Gear. There's a copy of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for Game Gear in there. So yeah, like I said, this guy ended up selling this to me for $15. He had wanted $20. I tried to get him down to $10. We settled on $15. Sounded like he had a couple other things previously too that he was selling, like an old PSP that he had already sold. Still works. I'm trying to, wouldn't turn on there, or it wouldn't boot up the game, it would turn on. Still not booting up. I have gotten it to work though. I know you're not supposed to be blowing cartridges, but there we go. So it still boots up. Get the nice crinkly Sega jingle. So yeah, awesome find there. The Game Gear, I was really excited about that. 10 games total, so Sonic 2. Let me show you the rest of these games. We got the Majors Pro Baseball. This is boxing. Evander Holyfield's boxing, Real Deal Boxing. NBA Jam. Played that one a lot on the Super Nintendo. Super Monaco GP. NFL 95. Let's see, this is US Gold Presents Winter Olympic Games. Cartridge felt a little loose there. I'll save that last one. World Series Baseball. Super Columns. And then Shinobi. I know that Shinobi, at least, I think that game came out for the Genesis. I know that that was a popular one. I have never played any of these games. Never played a Game Gear before. Never played any of these games. I don't know anything about them. So I'm guessing that all of these sports games are just sort of, filler games. If there's anything in here that's valuable, let me know in the comments below. I will look all these games up and see what they're worth. Again, I haven't decided if this is something that I want to keep. I would love to have a Game Gear in my collection, so I'm kind of leaning towards keeping this right now. But again, having never played it, I don't have any nostalgia for the Game Gear. A lot of my video game collecting hobby is driven by nostalgia because I want to play the games that I grew up with. So not having any nostalgia for this, I don't feel a lot of attachment to holding on to it. But I will decide and let you guys know. But really happy to pick that up. It'll be in my collection for at least a little while. Okay, and then the last pickup, this was my favorite pickup of the day. saw this sitting on a shelf, said 15, or on a table, $15 Lego house and spaceship, and I was like, sweet, that's awesome. And then I saw this instruction manual. This is for set 6929, and I got super excited. This is a classic 80s space set. Has the instruction manual complete there. And then underneath it I saw this sitting here. This is like the cover flap for the box for this set. This is set 135, and it's like just a bunch of pieces. There's a house that you can build from this. There's a duck, a train, lots of sorts of stuff you can build through this. I looked this up. This set was released in 1971, and I believe this spaceship set was released in like 1981. So I'm not sure on the dates there. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Don't hold too fast to that. I have no idea how complete these are. The guy said that he thinks that most of the pieces should be in there, but you never know. I've been burned a lot of times. I don't know if there's other pieces in here as well. I do have the space minifig. Sorry, my face is kind of in the way. The space minifig, the red space man, and he's in like really good condition. I'll give you a close up here of him. Yeah, so I don't know if you can see, he's like in immaculate condition. No like bite marks or anything, which is super common for old Legos. The legs feel like almost a little stiff still, like just wasn't played with that much. So really awesome to grab him. I'm so excited for this space set. Yeah, really stoked to find this. This is one that I will definitely keep. I love the classic space sets. I never had any of these when I was a kid, but I always saw pictures of them. I had, I think, cousins that had some, and I always really wanted to have them. I just never did. It was a little before my time, mid 80s. So there are definitely pieces to the spaceship in here. I see some wing pieces, and like I can't tell you how awesome these pieces look. Like they're not real faded. The white's not real faded. The gray's not real faded. They look like they're just in really great shape. Like this was kept in the dark somewhere where it wasn't going to get worn out. So I'm super stoked to have this. I will do a whole video on probably just going through this, and maybe one on just the spaceship build, and then one on the house build as well. So definitely my favorite pickup of the day. The guy was asking 15. I turned to him and I said, so you're asking 15? And he said, yeah, I'm asking 15. I don't know, is that too high of a price? And I kind of sat there for a minute, and I said, well, would you take 10 for it? And he said, how about 12? And so I said, all right, I'll do 12 for that. And he said, that's why I love garage sales. Love the haggle. So we haggled for it. I got it for 12. There's more of the spaceship there. Yeah, I would have paid 15 for it though. This is a great find. I'm super excited about this. To find classic space sets, old vintage Lego pieces in the wild is really great. My plans for this set, if all of the pieces are in here, I will probably just try and sell this. It's not that it's not cool. It's a really cool set. I mean, I love this old vintage stuff. I'll probably try and build some of this up, but I just am not super interested in keeping it, and I think I could make quite a bit just selling this set by itself. So I'll probably go ahead and do that, and then put that money into the rest of the collection. So buying other sets that I want. So that's it for this week and last week's pickup videos. I apologize for not having put out a whole lot of videos lately. Not that there's necessarily a ton of people watching these videos yet, but my computer died and I haven't been able to upload. In fact, I'm not even sure when this one's going to go up. I'm sure it's going to be late. So that's it for this one. If you enjoyed this video, if you like the content on this channel, please go ahead and hit that like button, comment in the section below, subscribe to my channel. I really would appreciate the subscription, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.